Hi, my name's Jessie Harris. I am a junior and my major is public relations and advertising with a minor in two-dimensional art. I did my presentation over Impact Art, so here we go. All right, so Impact Art is actually a group of local artists in town who all already have their own full-time jobs, but on the side they run this nonprofit organization. Impact Art, they create and promote positive public art. They create murals for local businesses and host artist and residence workshops for middle and high school age students. I've provided just a few examples of what they've done in town. On the left, you see the Coke bottle mural. That was actually a restoration project, and they didn't come up with that on their own. They just refurbished it a little bit, brightened up the colors, and helped Coca-Cola out by doing that. On the top right, you see the Kearney Public Library. This is just a mural of famous books by famous authors and novels, etc. And below that, you see the Sandhill Cranes mural on the side of Bruce Furniture. All right, so for my creative brief, it was pretty lengthy in the actual paper, but I'll try to keep it as short and still informational as possible. They, again, are a nonprofit organization. They have a lot of strengths. They have a lot of close ties to the community of Kearney and have really well-established relationships with business owners and city council members. And being a nonprofit, they're given grants to help fund their projects that are on city property, and they only need to fundraise a small amount in comparison to the actual grant itself. And that fundraising just helps with supplies and banners, etc. A major weakness is that they are really new to the community. Even though they have done major projects in town, they're not quite as established as a business, but more as individuals. This hurts them just because they need to gain clientele, but with the name recognition. It's really hard to accomplish without that name recognition. Their social media presence is there, but it's just not utilized the way it should be or as often. They need to be on a lot more different social media platforms than what they are. They're mainly just using Facebook right now, so we go on about that again later on, about how they should use each platform to their greatest advantage. Some opportunities that they have, they could be expanding the business from just murals and workshops, and they could be offering like graffiti classes once a week to all ages. Also be providing just weekly art classes for people who want to learn more. A major threat to them is other artists. They need their mission and goals to be what sets them apart from those other artists, because there are people in town who can do the same work, but they need the community to look at Impact Art and say, no, I want them because their missions and their goals line up with what I believe. The top 3 objectives of this business is to promote, create, and establish. They want to promote positive art and create it, and they want to establish a form of art that communities all over Nebraska will want to have. As far as their audience, their largest audience as of right now is the city of Kearney. So far, the city's feedback is pretty positive. A few hub articles have been written praising their work and its significance to the community. Their social media responses have been pretty positive, with really high ratings and comments in favor of their organization. The community should be caring a lot about the work that is happening, just because it's allowing the city to grow and it's increasing tourism and popularity among visitors. This increased traffic just helps bring our town more business, jobs, residents, things like that. Eventually, Impact Art would like to expand their audiences to the surrounding areas and the whole state of Nebraska in general. But right now, until they get off their feet a little bit more, they're sticking to just the community and smaller neighboring towns. Again, my target market analysis was pretty lengthy, so I tried to shorten it down just a bit. They do target any and all students. That's their main goal. Right now, their residence workshops are just for middle and high school, but eventually they do want to expand those workshops to students of all ages. Their community events that they go to, they do provide activities for those younger students and children, but to go in and teach a workshop takes a little bit more effort for those younger kids. They also want to eventually target special needs students. They want to be able to go and allow these students to express themselves in ways that they normally don't get to experience. And then finally, as far as murals go, they want to target mainly business owners, just because that's who has the money to pay for the murals that go on the sides of these buildings. As far as psychographics go, business owners want to make money. They want to do this in the fastest way possible. They're already really busy running businesses and owning businesses and trying to handle what their employees are doing, as well as if they're making enough money to keep running their business. And by just paying for somebody to come in and paint a mural, you're already increasing your foot traffic. You're increasing the way people look at your building. They want to know what's happening. They want to know what's being painted, and they're excited to see what's happening. And as far as the psychographics of the students they're targeting, they really want students who just want to express themselves and who don't necessarily have that outlet that many other people do. Also in my target analysis, I put that numbers are really important when presenting the ideas of these workshops to school boards and such. You need to have statistics showing why students who have creative outlets are automatically doing better in school and excel in testing and etc. It was really hard to find a specific industry that impact art fit into. So for my situation analysis, I just basically said that they're targeting a miscellaneous service industry and specifically a miscellaneous business sector. Because they have really unusual services that not many people fall into as a category in general, this was the only way I could really come up with to specify a specific industry and sector. Consumer behavior towards the product, again, has been pretty positive across the news articles and Facebook responses. They basically want to just create positive art and create a public impact on the community, and so far, according to feedback, it's pretty much accomplished that. Many people use the murals as backdrops for senior pictures, tourist stops, wedding pictures, just kind of a fun thing for kids and adults alike, just to stand in front of and snap a quick picture that they can post on their social media page, which also in turn provides a lot of advertising for the business that the mural is on as well. One of their major strengths is that, again, this is repeated a lot, they create positive art. The public can watch it be creative. They get involved. Businesses get free advertising and a lot of increased foot traffic of people asking what's going on, what are they painting, what's it going to look like when it's done. And a major weakness, they have a really big lack of advertising. They do outside murals, so if they don't start investing time into gaining clients with indoor projects, they're going to have all winter without projects. Possibly, potentially. If the weather's not great, it's really hard to sit outside when it's snowing and paint a mural. I mean, nobody wants to do that. As far as opportunities go, Kearney is growing at a really fast rate, and there's always opportunities for them to have projects and get involved with the community, and there's always events going on where they can get their name and mission out. They also can go into schools and do classes with students about positive expression with art. I mean, there's just so much you can do with their specific product. A major threat that they face is permission to paint. Businesses, most of the time in Kearney, lease or rent their buildings. So if a business wants a mural on the side of their building, they have to go through the building owner, who could possibly be different from the actual business owner or vice versa. It just gets really confusing, and it does allow for them to run into some pretty serious issues when it comes to that. As well as painting in public areas, they have to get permission from the city, sometimes even the state, and they have to go through a lot of forms and presentations to get that permission. As far as positioning strategy goes, my paper, it was pretty short in there, but any business that has one of Impact Arts murals on it, their building is automatically branded with that mural. I mean, I've already heard people in town go, oh yeah, Bruce Furniture, it's that one with the big sunrise painted on the side of it and all the birds. I mean, that mural sticks with you. That's the staple for your business. Advertising and foot traffic increase that way. I mean, people come in and ask you who painted that and tell you how beautiful it is. All that sorts of good stuff. And you get a say in what's painted. You get to choose what's painted on the side of your building. You get a say in the process. I mean, you get to help them design. It's just a great thing for your business. As far as messaging goes, again, positive art. A lot of graffiti and art like that is on the side of trains. It's vulgar. It's considered vandalism. They want to make an impact and be involved in a positive way. They want to allow the community to have a say in what's going on and to be involved. In the slides, as well as in the paper, I combined marketing, communication, effectiveness, just because they were so integrated to begin with in my plan. Impact Art is nonprofit. They have a really minimal budget. If a business wants a mural, they have to pay for it. If the city wants a mural, they have to get grants for it. As far as communicating, Facebook is really good for them. They don't post as much as they should, but to boost an ad on Facebook is like $3, and to get a radio advertisement, a 30-second ad is $15, and to even produce it is another $50 fee. So for like one Facebook boost, it's $3. That's the price of a third of a radio ad. Not even a third, a fifth. I mean, you just get so much more out of your money by boosting posts on social media than you do advertising them over the radio. And where Impact already has such a minimal budget, this is really good for them. They are mainly just on Facebook, so they need to start using like YouTube for time-lapse videos, Instagram for just pictures, and then like maybe Facebook for more in-depth stories. They need to start using these platforms to each of its advantage, because a lot of people don't use every social media platform. They just use a few of them. So if they spread themselves across multiple platforms, their reach is a lot higher. And finally, they can do some old school flyers and print ads. It does cost a little more, but they do have a minimal part of their budget set aside for that as well. In terms of integration, I set up a 3-step plan for Impact Art. 1, get involved. 2, get your name and organization out there. And 3, follow through and stay connected. For get involved, I really would like to see Impact Art go to community events, create artwork that can be raffled off at these events. At these events, they can have booths, get your name out there, get your business cards out there, have events that kids can participate in. And for follow through, I really want them to use social media. Stay connected with those people that you saw at these events. Stay connected with the people who are taking pictures in front of your murals. Comment on those posts, share those posts on your page. That's really beneficial to you as a business. For a nonprofit organization, sales promotions are really hard. Sometimes they do have a little bit of leeway money left at the end. Offering small discounts could be beneficial for them, $100 or $200 off a mural if you book within a certain month. Large-scale portfolios could also be really important for their business. Just showing people your murals on your phone is so much different than, having a large 11 by 17 portfolio that customers can actually interact with and flip through. I think it's really important that consumers can interact with their projects before it's even started, and a portfolio is really important for that, especially with such large grade murals. You want the full impact of those paintings, so having the larger images is really important. And again, as far as public relations goes, just building that community involvement, going to these events, hosting booths, speaking, presenting, offering these smaller workshops. It's just important for them to be involved. That's the main public relations they need right now. Again, budgeting was also really hard for them. They don't have a big budget for advertising. They don't even really have an advertising budget set aside. A lot of that is just money that's fundraised or donated. So I based my budget off of a $1,000 budget. That way, Impact Art can adjust it as they need. That allows for an increment of $10, a multiple of $10, which makes it pretty easy to adjust relatively close to whatever their budget could possibly be. I left a miscellaneous category in there just because, and that miscellaneous category just gives kind of a 10% leeway, so that way if one of their things does go over, they have some extra money they can pull from to cover for that, or just have money left over for more supplies if they would like, or to do a more detailed painting. 10% leeways are just pretty beneficial to have, especially in an organization whose budgets are already really tight. Overall, I had a really good time working with Impact Art. I actually knew a few of the members personally, so it made it fun to interact with them again and, get to see what they're doing and, actually help out a little bit. Just a small list of my resources that you can look through. I did use the book for a lot of things and then found some academic journals as well.